Evening and welcome to the Fairfield City School District Board of Education meeting for October 20th, 2022. Please stand with me for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Mrs. Lane, please call the roll.
Mr. Beckley?
Here.
Ms. Birding?
Present.
Mr. Clark?
Present.
Mrs. Gundrum? Mrs. Shorter?
Excited for board meetings. Let's go. That's how we roll.
That's a good way to start the
Guess
meeting.
so. That's right. We'll start our own party here. Presentations and resolutions. First one up, Mr. Bellamy. Please welcome up your crew.
Yes, Mr. Begley, members of the board, we do have two presentations this evening. Very excited to welcome some of our high school students this evening. They volunteered to serve on the Board of Education Student Advisory Committee last spring, and they are here this evening to ask our board members some questions about their service on the Board of Education. This time I will turn it over to our high school principal, Mr. Bellamy, and allow him to introduce our guests.
Good evening, Fairfield City School Board of Education members and Fairfield administration. First, I'd like to thank you guys just for your continuous support of Fairfield High School, of our students and staff. And personally, I'd like to thank you guys for your continuous support for me taking over this new role in first quarter with the check-ins and just the support that I've had so far these first 9 weeks. So I really, truly appreciate that. Tonight, I get the privilege to introduce three of our Fairfield High School students. These students are active members at the high school, very involved and great leaders within our building. I would like to introduce each member, what they do here at Fairfield High School and what they do also outside of the school building. So first is Kayla Vo. She's a junior here at Fairfield High School and is involved in Fairfield Show Choirs, the Asian American Association, Women's Leadership Club, Big Brothers Big Sisters organization, volunteer manager at a nonprofit for CCDA in Hamilton, and is a nail technician. So anybody needs their nails done, I'm trying to work on a discount. Caitlin White is also a junior here at Fairfield High School and is involved in Fairfield Core Leaders, Young Life, Youth Prevention Coalition, Technology Student Association, and works at Skyline and Niederman Family Farm. And then lastly, Zach Thompson is a senior here at Fairfield High School and is involved with the National Honor Society, Marching Band, Jazz and Wind Ensemble, Student Leadership Equity Team, the tennis team, and works at Graders and McDonald's. So at this time, I'll go ahead and turn it over to our Mayor Youth Commission students.
Hi, so we're just here to kind of ask you a few questions about what the school board is, and basically we want to learn a lot about it. So the one question I have is, what made you want to become a Fairfield City School Board member?
So as the newest member, I was elected last November, and I've served almost 10 and a half months now. Growing up, my father was always taught, and then he taught us growing up, if not you, then who? We've always served in the community, whether it was volunteering at events or being part of our community in activities. And so when my father moved away from the school board, I decided it was my time to step up and serve my community. I'm a Fairfield alumni. I love the school district. I was in the arts and the marching band and other things, and I wanted to make sure that I could come into the board and help preserve those type of things and make sure that we continue to achieve excellence that we already have. And then I also wanted to just kind of give some diversity to the board, give a little voice to people who don't feel like maybe they really had a voice in our community until now.
Thank you.
My question is, what do you enjoy most about your position on the school board?
So I'll go ahead and take this one also as the newest member. My favorite part so far has been, honestly, the activities and events that we've been able to be a part of. Whether it's the teacher appreciation and the Golden Apples, which was really cool, the opening school year ceremony where we got to meet all the new teachers and stuff like that. But honestly, graduation, handing out diplomas to excelling students and being part of their achievements throughout the end of the year, and then being able to shake their hand and congratulate them for going through our system and seeing them off to the next chapter is really a touching moment.
Thank you.
Hi, my question is, what are your biggest challenges and/or frustrations about your position on the school board?
Yeah, is that me? I think it's you. I think that is me. Biggest challenges, frustrations. So, honestly, COVID, right, wreaked such havoc, right, with all school boards, with all schools, and really there was no rule book, no playbook, so to speak, right? So that became a big challenge, and we were kind of learning on the fly, looking for direction, and direction wasn't always given, so that's a challenge for sure. Beyond that, I think honestly, and maybe a lot of that came out of COVID, is the fact that it's really, school boards are to be apolitical, right? And now there's a lot of pressure on school boards. And it can't be about political ideology. It needs to be about what's in the best interest of our students.
Thank you.
What challenges do you face when deciding on tough or controversial issues? And what steps do you take to help you make these decisions?
So, again, I think the big thing is you have to stay true to what we're here to do, and that is to advocate for our students, right? So there's always going to be a lot of noise, now more so than ever. But are we doing what's in the best interest of our students? So that's number one. Number 1A is, does it make financial sense, right? That has to be a concern, right? We have to be good stewards of the public's money. But first and foremost, are we advocating for our students? Are we making those decisions based on what's best for them?
Thank you.
What are your roles in our schools that we may not know about?
I'll take this one.
Have it.
Some of the roles, doing tours of the school buildings, which is honestly one of my favorite things to do. We get to walk through with Billy and the principal and just see what's going on there. Maybe not a role, but something I think is a perception that a lot of people misconceive is that we get paid a lot of money. And we don't. It's a volunteer, more or less, position. And but it's a passion that we have. Some of the other things is that we identify we're a community representative. We love our staff, but we represent the community itself. That's who elects us. That's who allows us to be in these seats for what we want to do. So it's that we get to represent the community itself, no matter who it is, and not just one constituency, but the multitudes.
Thank you.
So if there is one idea, decision, or initiative that you could have implemented in our school district, what would it be?
So the board had a lot of good stuff going on before I even came on. One of the things that I was super happy to see already initiative was something that was planned, but then because of COVID, we had to go in full force, which was the 1-to-1 ratio, which is getting the school and the students to learn virtually and being able to have that component, because kids today are so tech savvy, and so be able to have that skill and give them the utility and tools to use that skill as an asset to learning is super impressive, and I was super happy to see that. And then me personally, I would like to help secure a financial standing for the school system, because we've looked at our numbers and we're projecting what we're going to be doing, and I'm here to help get us through that.
And what would you like to see change in our district to help our student staffing?
Yeah, I'll take that one. Sort of piggybacking off of what you mentioned, Ms. Birding, about the finances, it would be great to be freestanding and not have to rely on levies or grants and things like that. Unfortunately, that's where we live. But one of the things I think is to really change in the district is for parents to be more involved. I know they're very, very busy, but for parents to come to meetings, come to the board meetings, come to conferences, come to whatever events that you students have, well, even homework, that, I know we're busy, everybody's busy, so not slamming the parents at all, but more interaction when the teacher needs some help from a student or for a student to work together with the teachers. I think we do a very good job, but I think it's a lower number than a higher number of parents that get involved, and I would love to see the parents get more involved.
Oh, thank you.
Do you ever think of the future generations of students and what affects your decisions? What affects your decisions you will make?
Yes. Everything that we do rides on future generations like yourselves. We hope one of you or all three of you are sitting in these seats for my grandkids one day. So everything that we do look at future responsibilities, future actions that we take today, how it's going to affect those generations ahead of time, whether it's finance, whether it's building, whether it's purchasing or not purchasing, or if it's buying something that we may have to put off to get the better whatever it is the following time, whether it's curriculum, security. Well, security, we always want to do security up front, right, Mr. Lance? But whatever it is, we do put forethought and a lot of thought and discussion into what's the next generation, the next couple years, what it's going to look like for the students. So we always plan ahead like that, absolutely.
Thank you so much. It was really nice speaking to all of you.
Thank you for coming.
Thank you.
Thank you. Kayla, Caitlin, Zach, thank you very much for your engagement here tonight and your interest in the school board. I'm sure we'll speak again. Next up.
Yes, our next presentation is an update in regard to our EL program with a special emphasis on the SLIFE program. So at this time, I will turn it over to Mrs. Aug and Ms. Crawley.
Thank you, Mr. Smith, Mr. Begley, members of the board. I'm happy to have Jen Crawley here tonight to share an update on our program for English learners. Our last presentation, which has been a while, it was November of 2020, focused on some of the takeaways from the EL needs assessment we completed with Hamilton County ESC in the fall of 2020. That needs assessment, the growing number of EL students, and the varied needs of our students help guide the work we do and the changes we make to the program along the way. We are also very fortunate to have wonderful teachers, tutors, and staff who work to give our EL students an exceptional academic experience each and every day in each one of our schools as well. So before I introduce Jen and turn it over to her, I do want to introduce Megan Nolan, who will turn bright red and giggle. But Megan is an administrative assistant in the curriculum department, and the majority of her time is spent supporting the EL program, making sure students are screened in a timely fashion. She enters all of our data, collects all of the data, schedules all of the interpreters for so many of the events that we have throughout the district, and so much more related to the EL program. She also played a big role in putting the presentation together tonight, and she is a person who works very hard every day behind the scenes and has such a passion for this program. So I just wanted to give her a shout out tonight, even though she's very embarrassed and will probably yell at me in the morning. So Jen Crawley is new to the curriculum department this year. She comes to us with a lot of different experiences. She was a middle school French teacher in another district early in her career. And then she served as an EL tutor in Fairfield before she became an EL teacher at both North and then finally at Crossroads before taking this position. Jen's also a Fairfield parent, so she has that perspective that she brings to the table as well. So Jen's been a great addition to our team and certainly a champion for our EL students in the program. And with that, I will turn it over to Jen.
Thank you for that introduction, Mandy. Mr. Begley, members of the board, thank you for allowing me to be here tonight to give you an update on our EL program here at Fairfield. Oh, I forgot. I'm not used to this part. As you can see here, we have English learners from more than 40 different countries represented in Fairfield, and they speak more than 40 different languages. Our top 3 languages currently are Spanish, Nepali, and French in that order. And we also have more than 400 immigrant youth who are enrolled here at Fairfield City Schools. How do we identify our English learners? Megan plays a big part in this. Our identification process starts during the registration process. When parents or guardians are filling out their enrollment paperwork, one of the things they are asked to complete is a home language survey. In that survey, they ask a series of questions, including what languages are spoken most in your home, what language did your child learn first, what language does your child use most frequently. If the answer to any of those questions is anything other than English, we will screen their student using the Ohio English Language Proficiency Screener, which was adopted in 2018. That is an online test, and it is given one-on-one to every student. We also screen in Fairfield our preschool students using the pre-IPT screener. As we identify those students, or as they are identified, they then take a test each year called the Ohio English Language Proficiency Assessment, usually late winter. That was adopted in 2016 to replace the OTELA test at that time. Both of those tests, the screener and OELPA, look at the student's proficiency in reading, writing, listening, and speaking. Also on this slide here, there are two graphs represented. The first graph, kind of in the center of the screen, is our current enrollment at Fairfield for English learners by building. You can see Central leads the way with the senior high school close behind. The other graph on this screen shows the number of students that we have screened for EL services already just this school year, total of 492 so far, and only 63 of them did not qualify. So we've added to our numbers significantly already just this school year. Some of the issues facing our ELs and their families, and by no means is this an all-encompassing list, and by no means do all of our ELs and their families face all of these challenges. Some of them do, some of them face some of them. From language challenges, which can be as basic as being able to express that they're hungry or they're thirsty or they need to go to the bathroom at school and they don't know where that bathroom is, or they're lost in their school building. Higher stakes testing can be another challenge. Our third grade students right now are taking the Ohio State test for English Language Arts, which can be an anxious situation for all students, but imagine taking those same tests in a language that is foreign to you. And that's a huge challenge for a lot of our students. Along with these challenges for our students and their families come some challenges for us as a district as well, and needs that we need to assess as our population continues to grow. A couple of those I'll touch on at the bottom are Title III compliance, making sure that we're spending our federal grant dollars responsibly according to the letter of the law, and continuing to increase our awareness of cultural diversity for our staff and our students alike. This slide has a lot of information. It's exciting, it's overwhelming. I'm going to walk you through a little bit of it before I start to break a few of the things down. The green on the graph represents our student enrollment, our EL student enrollment, and we go back as far as we have data that we can easily access, which is the 2011-12 school year through this current school year. The top kind of dotted dark brown line is our ratio of EL students to EL teachers. And then there's a trend line that goes along with that that's kind of a lighter brown. At the bottom is our staffing represented. So the starred line are our TESOL endorsed EL teachers, and the dark yellow bar graph are our EL tutors. So looking at just the last 6 years of data, is that me? Sorry. 6 years of data, our student EL population has doubled. Our staffing has grown, though certainly not at the same pace. From the 2011-12 school year, when we had 6 EL certified or TESOL endorsed teachers, we now have 14. In that same time period, we've added 1,000 EL students. So all of us are growing, but at different paces. We currently have 3 buildings in the district, Central, Compass, and the senior high school, who have more than one TESOL endorsed teacher there. We have 52 tutors currently who serve our ELs during their school day. And this year, as to date, our student to teacher ratio is 105 to 1. So we truly appreciate, I know Mandy has come before the board before saying, our enrollment is increasing, we need a tutor at this building, or we need to add a teacher. And we truly appreciate that. We couldn't do this, obviously, without your support. So we thank you for that. This next slide is a little bit different than what is in your packet, I believe. We updated it a little bit, I think, from the time the packet was printed. We've represented here some groups of districts. Districts within Butler County. Similar districts are at the bottom center of the screen. Those are similar according to the state report card. And then urban districts around the state. This is last October's data, and the reason that this is a year old is this October's data hasn't arrived yet. It should be arriving any day. Last year in Ohio, Fairfield was the 11th highest ranked school in the number of EL students and 10th for the percentage of EL student population. And I would like to think that some of this is because of the services that we provide our students and their families. I think it speaks to the affordable housing available in the Fairfield district and to the jobs that are available to our students and their families in the area as well. This next slide is also a little bit different probably than what is in your packet. Not just providing support to our students, but we need to support their families as well. Some of the pieces we have in place for that, we do have 2 district-employed Spanish liaisons, Mario Amaya and Joanna Aquino. They're housed at Central and Compass Elementaries. They help with meetings with Hispanic families during the school day. They serve as interpreters for many events after school hours, conferences. I know they're doing that tonight. Community engagement events. We also work closely with Affordable Language Services and with Accuracy Now, which is a part of Catholic Charities for interpretation and translation services. We have just started a 3-month trial with Affordable Language Services to allow our families to call in to us using an interpreter to ask us questions or leave concerns that they have about their students, and then we can call back to that. We've started to get some messages from parents, so that's an exciting possibility for our families moving forward. One specific category of our English learners that we're looking at a little bit more closely are our SLIFE students, and that stands for Students with Limited or Interrupted Formal Education. These are typically secondary students who are below grade level for their age by at least 2 years. Neither the federal government nor the state of Ohio has an approved SLIFE definition, so we've kind of borrowed pieces from other states' definitions to create what you see in front of you. Many of them have limited literacy in their home language or no literacy at all. They have gaps in their education, whether it be that they're refugees, they're escaping a natural disaster situation, a war-torn situation. Some of them have had to drop out of school to be able to work to support themselves or their families. Because of these gaps in education or the difference in age from their non-EL peers, there is a high dropout rate among the student population. So So here at Fairfield, we are hoping to meet these students' needs, build on the skills that they have, and add as much as we possibly can while we have them with us at Fairfield. We have started conversations with our administration at the freshman building and at the senior high school, and we do plan to offer a SLIFE newcomer program starting next school year in August 2023, housed at the freshman building. We believe housing it at the freshman building will allow us to have these students enroll in academic coursework, elective courses, and a SLIFE curriculum that is going to focus primarily on American culture, how to do American school, basic English skills that will allow them to build a framework of academic skills and vocabulary. We are hoping to have many of their classes with TESOL endorsed content teachers or teachers who have had SIOP training, which is a specific method of instruction that's proven to be very useful for English learners. This is a work in progress, so nothing is set in stone, but this is kind of our plan for this coming school year to serve this specific population of ELs. And now maybe the most exciting part of the night. I get to stop talking and you get to listen to someone else. These are some of our English learners here at Fairfield. These are 3 students from Compass Elementary who we had the great fortune to get to ask some questions last week. They're very quiet, so we've closed captioned this so you can kind of experience what some of our ELs experience in class, where they have to read along with listen to the video. But I'm going to turn you over to Lily, Nemeka, and Helen.
My name is Noah and I'm in 5th grade. My name is Rebecca and I'm in 3rd grade. My name is Helen and I'm in 4th grade. I want to be a fashion designer. I want to be a soccer player. Because I want to be a fashion designer. So probably have to practice sewing or like with the machine or doing knitting, so you can get used to it and do it in future job.
What do you think, Helen? Okay. And how about a soccer player?
You need to like have a scout with you, and then you need to have like soccer training and kickball training, and feel a soccer team decides to have you. I can have like nice teachers, and also I can talk to my friends during recess. What I like about school is that it's a place for students to learn and have fun. I like school because a lot of teachers do like computer stuff and they're like really kind, and they have patience with us. Like especially in kindergarten, because I started learning English, and I've been going in and out of Mrs. Blau's room. That they did a good job doing things like this. Gracias is thank you.
All All right, so again, I'd like to thank you for your time tonight. I also do want to thank Megan for helping out with the data, all of the data in the, in the presentation. She helped to put that together. To Corinne Dorst at Compass, who helped us to arrange the interview, and to Lori Vale, who helped to create the video that you saw before you tonight. I'll do my best to field any questions that you might have. I certainly, if I can't answer them, I will get you an answer and get back to you with that.
I have a question.
Sure.
Excuse me for my ignorance,
No.
but what is TESOL?
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 It's an endorsement offered by the state of Ohio, many states around the country. It stands for Teachers of English to Speakers of Other Languages, because why wouldn't that be what we call it? I know. I was like, that could be really a lot easier than that. But yes, TESOL. So it's a special endorsement. In Ohio, I believe it's 18 hours of coursework, and it's a test that you.
So it's like a certification that these people receive?
Yes, a certification, like a reading certification. Or,
Gotcha.
yes. Mhm.
Thank you.
Yes, you're welcome.
Maybe I missed it, the family interpreter message system, I think that's fantastic. Looks like we got three months of free talk.
It's
3
not
months.
free, no, but we're,
3 month
we're trying it
trial.
out for 3 months,
I was
yes.
trying to roll that out. I need a tutor myself. So after that 3 months, then what's the cost associated with that, if you don't mind?
Help me remember.
It's $10 per language line per month. So we have 6 languages, so that's $60. And then they charge us an extra fee for each minute. So it's 10 cents per minute. We pay 85 cents per minute for Spanish and 95 cents for all other languages. So we're spending 95 cents for Spanish and $1.05 for the other languages.
I love it. I think it's outstanding. Like you said, the Spanish, French, Nepali, there's a whole lot of Nepali folks coming here recently.
Yes.
I get the pleasure of working with a lot of ESL students and their kids on Wednesdays and Sundays. And it's just amazing how the parents speak no English at all, and the students will, or they want to acclimate to the English American way. And even though the parents try to keep the culture alive, it doesn't always happen. But I think this is an amazing way for the different cultures, the different groups to communicate. It's not been out there before, and I think some of that is some of the reason that the parents don't get involved, because they're either, 1, they're scared, 2, they don't understand, and 3, they're maybe embarrassed about it. And this is a great door to open for that relationship that we can help them with. I think this is amazing.
That's what we're hoping.
Yeah. Thank you for doing it. Thank you, Megan.
This is eye-opening data, it really is, and I think you've hit on something. One of the huge challenges, it's not 1,000+ students that just speak Spanish, right?
Oh, no,
We're
no.
talking about
60 different languages.
Yeah, all these different languages and the strain that must create
Yes.
in trying to connect with those students.
That is probably, as an EL teacher, that was probably the most common question that I got asked. Oh, so you speak Spanish? No. No, in fact, I don't. Well, then how do you teach? I'm like, well, all my kids don't speak Spanish either.
Right.
So, yeah, we're teaching them English
Yeah.
at the end of the day, so.
The other amazing challenge must be the fact that when we look at the slide that breaks down the percentages, so 22% in Central, it's an elementary school, but 14% at the high school. So you're taking on kids in high school that have English deficiencies.
Yeah, so the graduation clock is ticking for them.
What a challenge.
Yeah. And last year, all of our senior ELs graduated.
That's awesome.
100%.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that's fantastic.
Ms. Crowley, Mrs. Ogg, and Megan, thank you for your work on this. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very
Yeah,
much.
thank you, ladies.